Hi, and thanks for stopping in. This lesson is about basic music theory and how you can easily apply it to your guitar playing. I know you may have been apprehensive about taking some complicated theory classes and think it might change the way you play. It's going to help you because if you know basic music theory, it will be much easier to learn songs, to recognize what you're listening to and be able to do it on guitar, and to be able to just enjoy playing much more because you can now understand why songs are made the way they are and why you're playing the chords you're playing or the scales you're playing. But today we're just going over the basics. So one of the basics is in Western music we have a 12-tone musical scale. There are 12 pitches in our scale. It's called the chromatic scale. And it has 12 pitches like the frets on the guitar. You have there are your 12 tones, and they start at the nut as the first fret and go up to the 11th fret. So there's 12 tones, okay? Now, Western music's most common musical scale is the 7-note major scale, which is the do, re, mi. Do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do. So that is what most of our music is based on. There are many other scales, but this is where we start. We start with that one scale because most of the other ones are variations of that or modes or different minor scales. But we're just going to talk about the basic major scale and how chords are made and how chords are related. First of all, what is a chord? A chord is a collection of notes, usually 3 notes, that sound good together. So first, we have to look at the 2 things that are involved in notes, consonance and dissonance. Consonance is an octave. The 2 notes go together. C, C, C. Those have very good consonants because their frequencies are double. For instance, this, I don't know what a C note is, but like an A 440 or an A 880 are consonant because they don't conflict with each other. They sound good together. Another consonant frequency is the 5 of the scale. So let's go back to the C, do, re, mi, fa, sol, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, C, D, E, F, G, 1, 5. So the C and the G are fairly consonant. They don't conflict at all, really. And that's where heavy metal music gets its the 1 and the 5 together can be played all over the place. So that's a 1 and the 5 relationship. That's a fairly consonant relationship. Now, a dissonant relationship would be, let's take a C note, or let's do a tritone. That's dissonant. And it wants to go there. Dissonance, consonance. So those are first a couple of things you need to recognize as music is based on consonants and some dissonance. And then there's other combinations in between. But that's one of the main things to recognize is music has tension and release, home bass. All right, now there are different other notes involved in a chord. A chord is made up of 3 notes, usually the 1 or root note, the 3rd note of the scale that it root is on, and the 5th note, 1, 3, 5. So let's see, we have the 1 and the 5, C, G, or C, G. Now the 3 is going to be E, C, D, E, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 3, 5, do, mi, sol, 1, 3, 5, Now, in the key of C, which we're going to go over, that is the 1 chord, the tonic chord, or the root chord, because that's home bass. That is the key the song is in. That is the tonic. That's home bass for the song. Now, remember, there are 7 notes in the scale: C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 1. So the 1 chord is C. Now if we move those 3 notes, C, E, G, up, all 3 of them, 1 step on the scale, it's D, F, A, or D minor. So D minor is now called the 2 minor chord, and we go up the scale from the D minor, and we go to E, G, B, which is E minor. So let's review that. 1 is C, 2 is D minor, 3 is E minor. Then the 4 chord, which you're very familiar with, because if you play the blues in C, you're going to be playing this 4 chord, which is F. And it's a major chord. So the 1 is major, 2 is minor, 3 is minor, 4 is major, and now we slide everything up. So, and that's G, B, D, which is the G chord, and G is a major chord, and it's also considered a dominant chord, which we'll get into a little more. And then after the G, we go up to the 6 chord, which is A minor, or so we have the 4, which is F major, the 5, which is G major, the 6 chord, which is A minor, and then the 7 chord, which you're probably not going to use a lot, is B half diminished. But hear that tension? Wants to go to home bass. So the 7 chord would be considered a dominant chord because it wants to resolve to home bass. These are what are known as the diatonic chords in the key of C. The C, the 1 chord, the D minor, the 2 chord, the E minor, the 3 chord, F, the 4 chord, G, the 5 chord, A minor, the 6th chord, B half diminished, the 7th chord. So we have tonic chords like C, dominant chords like G, and the 7 chord, B minor 7. So 1 is tonic, 5 is dominant, 7 is dominant, goes back to tonic. Now we have other chords in that, the F, which is a subdominant chord because it kind of can go between tonic and dominant. Because the blues is tonic, subdominant, F, tonic, dominant, subdominant F, tonic. Now, there are other chords such as the E minor, which is fairly close to a G chord, but it's not really a dominant chord. It's more of a subdominant. Some would call it a median chord because it goes in between. There is the D minor, which is more subdominant because it shares a lot of the same notes as the F chord. I know now it gets a little too much, but if you remember your numbers, that's what we're talking about. The D chord is a 2 chord, and the F chord is the 4 chord. They share a lot of the same notes, especially the D minor 7 is played like this. And the F chord is... Three out of the notes of the 4 notes in the D minor 7 are in F. So that's why they are considered very close together, as is the A minor chord and the C. They're very close together, so the A minor is not a dominant chord, certainly, but it's not a full tonic chord, but it can be tonic in nature because it's near the C chord in tones. The structure being tonic, subdominant, kind of mediant chord, F being subdominant 4, 5 chord G, and especially the G7th being dominant, wanting to go back to C. Then the A minor being more median chord between C and G. And then the half diminished or diminished is definitely a dominant chord because it wants to resolve the C. So there are your numbers, and when you learn your 7th chords, we're getting a little ahead possibly, but that's where you get a... You get all your C major 7, D minor 7th, E minor 7th, F major 7th, G 7th, A minor 7th, B minor 7th flat 5, G, C. Numbers are what you need to learn. Remember, the scale is C, D, E, F, G, A, B, Do, Re, Mi, Fa, Sol, La, Ti. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 1, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 1, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Now, they also call that the Nashville number system or the number system. And if you're playing guitar, I won't say it's vitally important, but it's good to know that system. Every week I do gigs with different ensembles, and I have to know the number system because if we want to change something from a F, G, C, the director will just say, instead of 4, 5, 1, you'll say 2, 5, 1. Basically the same sound, 2, 4, 5, 1, 2, 5, 1, or it could be 4, 5, 1, 2, 5, 1. So you need to know this number system. And you can apply all these changes to any key because in G, the 1, 6, 4, 5 is 6, 4, 5, 1, 6, 4, 5. In A, it's 1, 6, 4, 5, 1, 6, 4, 5. In D, it's 1, 6, 4, 5, 1, 6, 4, 5, 1. So I hope this lesson has been helpful for you. I'm really happy that you've stopped by to view this lesson. I have many lessons out there. So let me know if there's something that's holding you back on your guitar playing. I'd be glad to do a lesson to try to help you on it. Or any other thing to do with guitar playing, whether it's on electric, acoustic, chords, soloing. I'm happy to help you out. Thanks a lot for visiting.